seems close to being solved.
Isaiah Chance, Elisa Andrews, Sean Gaithright, Davion Murphy, and Rashard Murphy are all accused of playing a role in Jones's death.
Their arrests are not as dramatic as the crimes they committed. The details are disturbing as they used expert-level planning skills and stalked their target for days before killing him.
The level of planning and coordination between these 5 defendants was truly alarming.
As suspects were seen on video following Jones from location to location.
Sadly, only one fate awaits them if found guilty.
All 5 of these defendants are facing life in the Florida State Prison.
So how exactly were they arrested? Well, prepare to have your mind blown. Foolio's killers arrested. On June 26th, just 3 days after the brutal ambush that claimed the life of Charles Jones, better known as Foolio, Jacksonville Sheriff's deputies were on high alert. The streets were buzzing with tension, and the hunt for the killers was intensifying. On this day, a seemingly routine traffic stop would become a pivotal moment in the investigation. The scene unfolded when deputies observed a gold SUV speeding through the streets of Jacksonville. The vehicle had dark tinted windows, making it difficult to see who was inside. The unmarked sheriff's vehicle activated its patrol lights, signaling the driver to pull over. The driver complied and the vehicle came to a stop. Little did the deputies know this stop would lead them one step closer to solving the murder of Foolio. The driver of the gold SUV was identified as 18-year-old Sean Gaithright. As the deputies approached the vehicle, they immediately detected the strong smell of marijuana emanating from inside. Sean, however, denied having or smoking any marijuana. Despite his denial, the deputies knew they had probable cause to search the vehicle. Sean was asked to step out of the SUV and stand at the back while the deputies conducted a thorough search. As they began their search, they discovered a small bag with marijuana residue and mushrooms. But that was just the beginning. In the center console, they found a Glock 19, a semi-automatic pistol. The discovery of the firearm raised immediate red flags, but what they found next would be even more alarming. In the back seats of the SUV, deputies uncovered several bags of ammunition along with firearm parts and accessories. The sheer quantity of ammunition and the presence of firearm components suggested that Sean was not just an ordinary teenager. The deputies knew they had stumbled upon something big. Sean was promptly arrested and taken into custody. He was transported to the Crime Gun Intelligence Center office for an interview. The deputies hoped that this arrest would yield valuable information that could help them crack the case wide open. As Sean sat in the interrogation room, the weight of the situation began to sink in. The deputies pressed him for information, but Sean remained tight-lipped. Despite his silence, the evidence found in his vehicle spoke volumes. The Glock 19, the ammunition, and the firearm parts all pointed to a potential connection to a crime. The next day, Jacksonville sheriffs received actionable intelligence that would change the course of the investigation. The information pointed to a conspiracy to commit murder, and Sean's arrest was the key that unlocked this new lead. Based on this intelligence, a search warrant was obtained and immediately executed. Detectives arrived at a home located on Jacksonville's north side. They had been informed that 21-year-old Isaiah Chance, 21-year-old Alicia Andrews, and a baby were inside the home. The detectives surrounded the house and began giving verbal commands over a PA system.
Isaiah Chance, this is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We are here for a driveway. We have a warrant for your arrest. Come to the front door with nothing in your hand.
They called for the occupants to surrender for the next 15 to 20 minutes.
All right, go to your knees. Put your hands behind your back.
Finally, Isaiah and Alicia emerged from the house holding the baby. They were taken into custody without incident. The arrests of Isaiah and Alicia and the evidence found in Sean's vehicle marked a significant breakthrough in the case. The detectives now had 3 suspects in custody, and the puzzle pieces started coming together. The investigation was far from over, but the relentless efforts of law enforcement were beginning to pay off. However, the story doesn't end there. The search continued for the remaining suspects, shifting the focus to Rashard Murphy. Rashard Murphy, a 30-year-old resident of Jacksonville, had managed to evade capture. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, with assistance from U.S. Marshals, tracked Murphy's movements, piecing together his whereabouts. Their efforts led them to the Collins Preserve apartments in the Ortega area of Jacksonville. In the early hours of Tuesday morning, a day after the first 3 suspects were arrested, SWAT units were deployed to the Collins Preserve apartments. The SWAT team surrounded the apartment where Murphy was believed to be hiding, creating a perimeter to prevent any escape. Kellogg Kid reported that Rashard Murphy had barricaded himself inside the house with a gun to his head on FaceTime with his girl and was refusing to surrender. Police negotiators attempted to communicate with Rashard Murphy, urging him to surrender peacefully. The standoff was tense, with officers prepared for any eventuality. After a tense standoff, Rashad Murphy surrendered just after midnight, ending the dramatic operation.
Keep crawling. Hello towards me.
Only Davion Murphy is still at large. As detectives delved deeper into the backgrounds of Isaiah and Alicia, they uncovered startling connections to the crime. Isaiah was a documented member of ATK, a gang known as Aim to Kill, or ACE's top killers. This gang affiliation was a crucial piece of the puzzle, as it linked Isaiah to the ongoing feud between Julio Foolio and rival rapper Young and Ace, who was also associated with ATK. In the days leading up to his murder, tensions between the rival gangs in Jacksonville had reached a boiling point. The 6 Block gang had a long-standing feud with 2 other allied street gangs, ATK and 1200. This rivalry lasted over a decade, resulting in numerous violent confrontations and a trail of bloodshed. Rashad Murphy and Davion Murphy are documented as 1200 gang members. Foolio's affiliation with the 6 Block gang made him a target in this ongoing gang war. Between June 21st and 23, the sinister plot began to unfold. The 5 suspects planned to take out Foolio as part of their gang retaliation. The group traveled from Jacksonville to Tampa, determined to track down and kill their target. On June 22nd, they arrived in Tampa in 2 separate vehicles. Their mission was clear: locate Charles Jones and settle the score. The following day, June 23rd, Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews began their hunt, tracking Jones and his entourage to multiple locations.
As suspects were seen on video following Jones from location to location.
Using a cell phone, Chance coordinated with the other suspects, setting the stage for a deadly confrontation. On the fateful night of June 23rd, Foolio and his entourage were tracked to the Home 2 Suites at 11606 McKinley Drive. Both vehicles followed Julio Foolio from a club to the hotel where the ambush occurred.
At 4:15 in the morning, Jones began to head to a hotel on McKinley. One of the suspect vehicles is seen following the victim. However, instead of following them into a parking lot, they stage across the street.
Surveillance footage showed one of the vehicles driving by Foolio's parked car twice, seemingly confirming which car he was in. Then, in a coordinated attack, 3 armed shooters exited a vehicle and got into position.
And you can see the shooters are getting in position for their planned out murder.
And once they were in position, they opened fire, killing Foolio with a handgun and 2 rifles. Foolio's car sped off immediately after the shots rang out, but it was too late.
And they are shooting at Charles now, and you can see that he's the passenger in that car that's moving and trying to flee.
The barrage of bullets was relentless. Charles Jones was killed on the spot, and 3 others were injured in the hail of gunfire. The shooters, identified as Rashad Murphy, Sean Gathright, and Davion Murphy, fled the scene.
At 4:38, 3 shooters exit a vehicle and walked in the direction of the hotel. They murdered Jones with a handgun and 2 rifles. This barrage of gunfire also struck 3 additional victims who miraculously survived this incident.
Although only 3 of the 5 pulled their triggers, all 5 are facing life in prison. It turns out that in Florida, if you participate in the planning of a murder, you can be held accountable for the person's death.
All 5 of these defendants are facing life in the Florida State Prison, even the ones who didn't pull the trigger. In Florida, if you participate in the planning of a murder, you can be held accountable for the person's death. And that is what we intend to do here.
The suspects were captured on hotel surveillance cameras and cameras from a parked Tesla. This footage, license plate readers, and car logs helped law enforcement identify the vehicles and link them to the suspects. The evidence was mounting, and the detectives were closing in on the individuals responsible for the heinous crime. However, it seems that more arrests will be made, with Young and Ace looking more likely to find himself behind bars. Not only is he on the cops' radar, but there might be evidence linking the crime to him. Youngin Ace Rico, ahead.
So Young and Ace has long been known in Jacksonville, but he can't move around in Jacksonville without us knowing about it.
Are the walls closing in on the ATK gang leader? Maybe. After the arrests were announced, he took to his Instagram to post a snippet of his interview with DJ Academics.
When you approach me, be ready to die. Be ready to die or go to jail.
That's not your mentality, is that?
That's my mentality. I'm ready to die or go to jail right now.
Seems like Ace has been shaken to the core. Do the feds have evidence that'll put him in behind bars? Well, Ace may have just snitched on himself, and it's not even in the 2 diss tracks directed at Foolio after he died. Ace revealed that one way to get ops is to use women as bait.
I tell my dogs, stay away from all them but they'll drop your low. and you don't with. And I don't think nobody set you up. I know for a fact somebody set you up.
Well, word on the street is that a woman backdoored Foolio. This is none other than Alicia Andrews. Popular commentator College Kid revealed that Alicia, who was among the 5 arrested, was at Foolio's party just before the murder. According to College Kid, Alicia fed Isaiah Chance and Sean Gathright Foolio's location throughout the night. 21-year-old Foolio murder suspect Alicia Andrews was allegedly celebrating Jacksonville rapper's birthday with him in Tampa. Told suspects Isaiah Chance and Sean Gathright his location, the Post read. Some in the comments section said that this is Alicia at the party. If this is true, then Foolio isn't the first rapper to go down after being backdoored by a woman. One of the most famous examples came out of the Chicago drill scene, with FBG Cash suffering the same fate.
Dad, like 5 o'clock that morning, you was loose as hell. You trying to ride around with in a rack. Come on, bro, ain't no doing that, scud, you know it.
FBG Cash was a hard man to get to. However, it was no secret that the rapper was a ladies' man, even bragging about dating Chief Keef's mom, even though Keef was an op.
It was some shit that had happened with me and Chief Keef's mama, and that just put me over the top, like, far as, like, people want to know who I am.
What happened with his mom?
Like, I used to with her. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I ain't gonna cap.
When King Von was killed, Cash decided to take a photo next to the mural showing his middle finger. However, instead of having kind words for the deceased rapper, he captioned the post saying, "Whole world witnessed yo main sniper get his splat." This stunt did not go down well with Von's guys, and especially with Von's best friend, Lil Durk. Lil Durk decided to stick up for Von by warning Cash in his song Computer Murderers, where he raps sneaking pics by Von Mural like Lil Bro won't come out and spin. Seemingly enjoying the attention, Cash would use Durk's beat on Computer Murderers and continue dissing King Von, singing Von got his clapped. You had us thinking he was stressed. Cash loved the clout as it was building his music career. He even started trolling his ops in interviews. In one interview, he was asked about his infamous stunt at King Von's mural. He responded by saying that Lil Durk had told him to do it.
Then I think at some point you take the picture in front of O-Block, in front of the King Von mural. So what was going on with all that?
Durk told me to do that.
Durk told you to do that.
Yeah.
It was only a matter of time before his ops would catch up with him, and a warning from Durk on social media gave a clue as to what would happen next. Lil Durk had taken to Instagram to warn him, "Don't diss Thang if you be lingering and chasing won't end well. That's marched," the Instagram story read. Cash didn't heed any advice, and soon he was on the news. On the 9th of June 2022, Cash was picked up by a female friend and headed for a nightclub. After the club, the rapper took her to a friend's house to sleep with her. At around 5 in the morning, Cash drove the car home with the girl in the back seat. According to her, she was tired and wanted to sleep. A few minutes later, Cash stopped at the stop sign on the 1600 block of West 81st when a car cut them off. 3 men jumped out and opened fire. Cash exited the vehicle as he shot back. However, he was soon overpowered. Cash was later taken to Christ Hospital in Oak Lawn, where he succumbed to his injuries. According to reports, a few weeks before the tragic incident that claimed his life, FBG Cash was involved in a shooting in which even he suspected that the female he was with had set him up. Luckily, only Young and Ace should be worried about the feds actively looking into his gang, ATK. Will he finally get arrested? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.